Hello everybody, I got a little repair I've been waiting on around to it, and I finally found one. It's the diverter valve I'm going to work on today. I'll see if I can demonstrate it. It's not fully sealing off, so I've got water coming out here and up here at the shower head. See there? That shouldn't be doing that. Should all be coming out there. Let's fix it. Now fortunately that one I don't have to cut the water off, but I would on the hot and cold water when I decided to work on those. Especially the hot water, it's having a little problem dripping every now and then. But the main problem is the diverter valve. It's the worst of all. Let's get the tools out and see about getting that fixed. First step, I'm going to put the stopper in the drain in case I drop a screw or something like that. And then it's a matter of taking that off. Then I need to get a Phillips screwdriver next. These are the two tools I think I will be needing. The adjustable wrench and a number 2 Phillips. Right there, number 2. I'll get the tripod set up. I'll get started. First off, take this little cap off. Next, hold that and then undo the screw. And put it in a safe spot. And then just rock it back and forth while pulling and it'll come right off. Should come right off anyway. Then unscrew this flange. And then all this little plastic retainer, if it's got one. And then somebody's put plumber's putty in there to make a seal, so I'll scrape that out. And that's just the water coming from the shower head down the pipe. Shouldn't be too much water. And there comes all the plumber's putty. Here's what the washer looks like that I'm going to be replacing. And I'm also going to check the seat, make sure there's no burrs on it. It looks pretty smooth to me. Carefully feel it. I don't feel any burrs, so I think I can proceed to the next step. Next step is removing this washer. And then that should come off. And there it is. And then I have the same type. Put that back in there. Tighten the screw back. Good and snug, don't want it to come loose. That should be okay like that. And then make sure this washer is on. That little nylon washer. And then go ahead and make sure that's clean, or that'll seat. And thread it back in. There it goes. Seems to be threading on. And then just snug it. Don't have to go too crazy with it. Then I'm just going to work it. I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to unscrew it like that. I'm going to put some petroleum jelly on those threads where that won't squeak. I don't know if y'all noticed that squeaking a little bit when I first put it in there. But that should be fixed. Thread that back on. Snug it back down. And now, much quieter, much smoother. I don't have any plumber's putty, so I'm just going to put that back on, which that should keep a majority of the water out if any sneaks back in there. I'm going to put the flange on. Going to also put a little bit of petroleum jelly on that so it doesn't seize up. And that flange is on there pretty reasonable. Wipe that off a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the petroleum jelly here so that doesn't seize up on the shaft. Nothing worse when those seize up. And then there's that. Put the screw back in. Gave it a dab of petroleum jelly as well. And then tighten that up snugly. Get rid of the excessive jelly, petroleum jelly. Put the cap back on. Okay, I tested it, it was still leaking. So if it is, that means this washer is bad right here. I don't have one of those on hand, but I found something I think would be a good substitute for now till I can get one. To take that off, just unthread the shaft from the valve body. That slips off. I found this from something. I'm going to just use it temporarily, and it seems to be the same dimensions, so I'll just thread that back up. I've already pre-lubricated mine, so it's good. That, I think that will work. So then just put it back in. Stuff like this, sometimes it takes a time or two to get it right, but don't give up. Keep trying until you get it right. So that's snugged back up again. Everything's all pre-lubed, so I don't have to go through that again. Put that splash guard back on there. Get my flange again. And snug that up. Now put this back on. Just hold it with one hand, tighten with the other with the screwdriver. Put the decorative cap back on. We'll see how that works now. Test number 2. Much better. Might have a drip or two because I don't have the right washer in there, but that's a heck of a lot better than it was. I'll get that right washer in there and should be fixed up. Alright, same procedure as before. And this one's being a little more stubborn than the other, but there it comes. I'll put that petroleum jelly in there like I did, and that should work pretty well. And that's got the dadgum plumber's putty in there, just like the other one. Try to get as much as that in the container as possible. Maybe poke the rest back in the wall. What plumber's putty? All right. That is cracked, so that needs to be replaced. The seat looks good. I don't feel any burrs. Can almost, yeah, there's a good view of it. All right. I've got my 3/8 L beveled washers. Washers removed. That looks to be in good shape on this side as well. And always make sure that washer stays on right there, that black one where my thumb is, or there will be leaks. Washer on, screw. Get it good and snug, just as before. That should be okay. I am going to unthread this and grease it like I did the other. All greased up. Ready to put back together. And it's ready to go back in. I'll wipe it down a little bit. Washer's in place. Give it a pretty good snug. Should be good. That's nice and free. Put a little grease on that. That on next. And then that goes on. Then the screw. And then the screw. And that should be in good shape. All right, now onto the hot water. And it's the same procedure as the other two. And I do have the drain closed off, where if I drop a screw, it's not a big deal. Hot water came off fairly easily. Again, the same procedure. And that one, all threads stayed in place, so that's okay. Let's get the plumber's putty out. Should be pretty good. And then the same procedure as before. Alright. And the hot water's in really bad shape. That one's gone. There's the problem right there. Seat looks okay. Seat is smooth. And that just came right off, no problem. Get my next washer. And the same procedure as before. And I think we should be fixed up after this. This one needs a little grease. Greased up. And ready to go back together. Washer's on there. That washer's good. That's a bit of a tight fit on this side. And snug it. Go ahead and put a little grease on that. And maybe there just for the heck of it. And then put this piece back on. And spin that back on. Little wipe. And get the handle, faucet handle back on. And we should be back in business now. Put the cover back on. So it ended up the hot water was the problem. That's why it was dripping. So once again, this has been repairing a leak on a vintage price Pfister bathtub faucet. Thank you for watching.